warm welcome to you all. So my name is Samantha Simmons. I'm your host this evening. I'm a broadcaster and a journalist. I'm also, as you can see, an events host and conference moderator. Each Knowledge Guild brings together a varied group of experts and inspirational speakers from Speaker's Corner in this fabulous historic building. First of all, I'd like to introduce Adi. Please give him a warm welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. I remember going to school on that first day, feeling really nervous, really worried. I remember going into the playground and immediately seeing a group of kids in the corner playing football. So there I am in goal, jumpers for goalposts on either side, and I managed to throw myself over to one side and save what was going to be a certain goal. And I went from this fashion freak with a bad leg and a crazy accent to a sporting hero all in one moment just because of that save. And it was a really, really beautiful moment for me because it made me realise that sport was going to open so many doors for me and it was going to build so many bridges. Hopefully we will see each other again, but for now, thank you very much.
Lorraine was the first female controller of the BBC One. Please welcome Lorraine Haggerty.
And in those days, news and current affairs was incredibly macho, and it was really difficult as a woman to become a producer. But again, I think part of succeeding is that you just don't see the obstacles. And I think within big organisations in particular, all too often I've seen people drift and not take charge of their own destiny and not chart their own course. And I didn't stay in news and current affairs and just progress up. I zigzagged all over the place. I went freelance just after I had my first baby, even though I was in a secure job and I would have had paid maternity leave and I would have had paid holidays, and I was married to a jazz piano player, still am actually. In fact, the joke is, what's the difference between a jazz piano player and a pizza? A pizza can feed a family of 4.
He's gone on to create something that will radically change for the better the distribution of drugs and vaccines for generations to come, and he's going to tell us more about it. Mark.
Thank you. And in 1984, I read a newspaper article which said that one day the transmission of viruses, especially HIV, would be hastened by the reuse of syringes. And this really struck me as something that I could apply myself to. We've now made about 8.5 billion of these syringes. We're the largest supplier to UNICEF, and we've been credited with saving around 14 million lives. I then went on to create a movement called Lifesaver, where we wanted to drive legislation. And by 2020, every syringe in the world is recommended to be made self-destructing like this one. Thank you.
Lord Seb Coe to chair the Olympic bid, which, as we all know, was a huge success, and the legacy lives on. Lord Coe.
I was brought up in the People's Republic of South Yorkshire in Sheffield, and people used to say to me, why did you go into athletics? And the answer is, if you were brought up in a city estate in Sheffield in the mid-70s and your name was Sebastian, you either learnt to run or you learnt to fight. No organisation in the history of the UK has been more diverse across disability and impairment, across ethnicity, across gender, across socio-economic groupings than the Olympic Games.
Samantha was amazing tonight. Lorraine was great. It was great to hear those speakers, and it was really inspirational.
Broadly the same subject, but in very different takes.
It's so good to be able to hear speakers that you can really relate to. So as an East Londoner, you see someone like Adi, who's been there, done that, grown up through the ranks.
For me, Seb Coe, just to hear him speak and to hear his story yet again was next level.
I also liked really the questions. When it's not just about what they want to speak, but also what the audience asks.
I really liked obviously to talk about obviously taking risks, whether it's your career or your personal kind of life, I guess.
Extremely insightful coming to these sorts of events.